Good morning, students. So we'll say in this video we'll see about the FlexRay protocol. So what is FlexRay? It is a next generation automotive network communication protocol. So the first public release was on June 2004. Now the latest version about these available. So why we are going for FlexRay? It provides high bandwidth, flexibility, fault tolerance, and reliability. So FluxRay is an embedded serial communication system that uses time synchronized exchange of data both to increase the speed of communication between the microcontroller and to prevent the corruption of data on any given network. CAN is used in soft real-time system, for example in engines, chassis. FluxRay is used in hard real-time system. So who developed the FluxRay? So these people, that is GM Motors, Audi, and these people, they combine together and that is introduced, that is a standard, that is communication protocol for the automotive purposes applications, so that they are naming it as FluxRay. So it is used for synchronous and asynchronous frame transfer, guaranteed frame latency and jitter during the synchronous transfer. So, and priorities of frames during asynchronous transfer, single or multi-master clock synchronization. So, it's a supporting error detection and signaling, scalable fault tolerance. So, three standard bit states it is supporting. So, the FluxRay communication cycle is a fundamental element of the media access scheme within the FluxRay. So, the duration of the cycle is fixed when the network is designed, but it is typically around 1 to 5 milliseconds. So, there are four main parts to a communication cycle: static segment, dynamic segment, symbol window, and network idle time. Static segment, it is reserved slots for deterministic data that arrives at a fixed period. Dynamic segment behaves in a fashion similar to the CAN, and it is used for wider variety of event-based data that does not require determinism. So symbol window, so network maintenance and signaling for starting the network. So network idle time is a known quiet time used to maintain synchronization between nodes. So the smallest practical unit of the time on a FluxRay is the macro tick. So the FluxRay controllers actively synchronize themselves and adjust their local clocks so that macro tick occurs at the same point in time on every node across the network. So this is static segment. It represented as a blue portion of the frame. It is a space in the cycle dedicated to scheduling a number of time triggered frames. So this segment is broken up into slots, each slot containing a reserved frame of data. So when each slot occurs in time, the reserved that is a controller unit as the opportunity transmits the data into the slot. So the figure shows a simple network with four static slots being used by three control units. So dynamic segment, most embedded networks, they have a small number of high-speed messages and large number of low-speed, less critical, to accommodate wide variety of data without slowing down the FluxRay cycle. So the dynamic segment allows the occasionally transmitted data. So the mini slots are unused dynamic slots. So as the data is broadcast, here this dynamic slots illustration. So that is controller unit 2 and 3 broadcasting in their mini slots and leaving no time for the lower priority mini slot 1. Symbol window is primarily used for maintenance and identification of special cycles such as cold start cycles. So under network idle time, it is a predefined known length by ECUs. So the FluxRay provides scalable fault tolerance by allowing single or dual channel communication. So this is a frame format. Each slot of a static or dynamic segment contains a FluxRay frame. The frame is divided into three segments: header, payload and trailer. The header is of 5 bytes long and it includes the following fields: status bits, frame ID, payload length, header cyclic redundancy code and cycle count. So the trailer contains three 8-bit CRC, that is to detect the errors. The length of the payload or data frame is up to 127 words or 254 bytes, which is over 30 times greater than compared to CAN. So clock synchronization and code starting. So FluxRay has the unique ability to sync up nodes on a network without any external synchronization clock signal. So it has two special type of frames, startup frame and sync frame. To start a FluxRay cluster, at least two different nodes required to send up the startup frame. The action of starting in the FluxRay bus is known as cold start, and the nodes sending the startup frames are usually known as cold start frames. Once the network is started, all the network nodes must synchronize their internal oscillator to the network's macro tick. So once the network is synchronized, the network idle time is measured and used to adjust the clocks from cycle to cycle to maintain the time synchronization. So this is a comparison between the FluxRay and CAN. So this is a comparison between Lin, CAN and FluxRay. So this is the roles of a node in a FluxRay cluster. Sync node, it enables a node to actively participate in the clock synchronization algorithm performed by the cluster. So sync node transmits the sync frames. So cold start node, it enables a node to initiate the communication. Cold start nodes are allowed to start transmitting startup frames in a non-synchronized state with the intent of establishing a schedule. Non-sync nodes, a node that is neither a cold start nor a sync node, is referred to as non-sync node. So FluxRay, it supports three different synchronization methods. One is TTD, another one is TTL, another one is TTE. So this is a TTD in which uses a distributed algorithm to reduce the effect of any single failure. So this is a TTD cluster. The number of TTD cold start nodes n must be equal to or greater than the sum of the number of TTD cold starts. So TTL synchronization method, a cluster in which sole cold start node uses the TTL method is a TTL cluster. The TTL synchronization method is a modification of the TTD synchronization method that reduces the number of required cold start nodes from 2 to 1. The advantage of TTL is a reduced system complexity, reduced startup time, and improved precision. So another thing is the TTE synchronization method. It is synchronize the schedule of a TTE cluster, also called as time sync cluster, to a secondary FluxRay cluster. This is a time synchronized cluster pair. Through the gateway, it is communicated from this between source and sink. So thank you for watching this FluxRay protocol.